I'm as crazy about Todd Monken being the head coach. I was fine with them interviewing him, but I don't know if he is,
Why is that?
high
Why is that,
on my
Daryl?
list.
Daryl, you don't seem to be really excited.
He's never done it before. And I know none of these kids have done it before, but like I said, I kind of feel like they want to find, the up and coming genius in the league, so they can kind of say, hey, we found this guy. No one else really wanted to talk to them, which isn't true with some of these young kids. But yeah, I don't know about.
You don't seem to be really. You don't seem to be really passionate about anybody. I mean, we're talking about the head coach here.
I'm not, Ken. I'm not.
Why aren't you passionate about anybody? You can't get behind any of them. There's nothing you can get behind.
No, I can't.
Why not? Why? Why is that?
Because they're all unproven, and here's the other reason. They're not going anywhere. Like, this team's not going to be good next year, this coming season. They have no quarterback, no offensive line, no wide receivers. They got to rebuild the offense from the ground up, all right? And with all due respect to Jimmy Haslam giving his heartfelt speech about we're not tolerating losing here anymore, I got news for you. You're going to do a lot more losing before you start winning again. And I feel like they were better off keeping Kevin and keeping the status quo for just one more year. And then you make the change when
you believe that? Were you saying that after some of those terrible, embarrassing losses in December, early December, late November? You really believe that, Daryl?
Well, now that I'm looking at the field that they're looking at, now I do, yeah. Like, you really think that they're going to be better with Dirty? You think they're going to be better with Dan Pitcher? You think they're going to be better with Jesse Minter?
You didn't know
Grant Udinsky?
You didn't know
Chris Shuley? You think it's going to be better?
Hold on. You didn't know going in that this was going to be the crop of what we were looking at? When did I make that list, Tone? When did I make it? It's, by the way, a lot of these guys are getting interviews at other places, not just the Browns, by the way.
No, I know.
I can go ahead. So what? Why didn't you?
I'm not going to rally around any of these guys. They're going to hire.
Daryl, then why weren't you advocating then to hold on to Kevin back then?
Because honestly, I was indifferent then.
So what's the point of even having you on the air if you're not going to give me an opinion?
Well, I don't know which one of these guys, honestly, to get behind. I really don't. I mean, who am I supposed to be vouching for, Ken? Am I supposed to sell?
Well, I mean,
am I supposed to sell Adam Durden, who is the Alex Van Pelt of the Seattle Seahawks?
You got 40,000 Browns fans listening to you right now, Daryl. They would like to hear you have an idea of who you would like. It's been a week. Give them an idea. They love the Browns. That's why they're listening to you right now.
I think it's going to be one of the three young guys. I've been very consistent with it, and they haven't talked to two of them yet. And that's Nate Shieldhouse, Grant Udinsky, and Dan Pitcher. I think it's going to be one of those three guys.
And who would you like?
Flip a coin. Dan Pitcher, okay, great, but Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase aren't coming with him. So, okay, all these guys know X's and O's. They all know that. But for me, the separator has to be, can you lead a football team? It's why I don't want Mike McDaniel. You had the starting quarterback in Miami last year calling teammates out for lack of discipline and not doing what they're supposed to do. I don't need that here. McDaniel doesn't interest me. Now, if you want to make him the offensive coordinator, okay, fine. I'll listen to that. But all these guys know X's and O's. I don't think that the Browns had an X's and O's problem. I really don't. I think that they had a fit / leadership, accountability, because they did, it was interesting listening to players after the season, in the locker room talk about, well, the next guy, hopefully they, hold guys accountable and lead and all those things. And they tried to couch it by saying, we're not taking shots at Kevin, but, well, that's what you're saying is what you need. But I have no idea if any of these young guys have those intangibles. I know they know the X's and O's. They wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be getting these interviews if they didn't know X's and O's. But there's just not one guy right now, of these 10, right now we have 10, 6 have interviewed, 4 are requested, and one's going to probably get done today. Maybe they'll do a second one today, but there isn't one single guy that I can honestly sit here and pound the table for and say that's the guy. And if you promote Jim Schwartz and you keep Tommy Rees as offensive coordinator, I just sit there and say I don't know why you just didn't keep Kevin at this point. So I just think that this whole coaching cycle is much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't think 9 teams would be looking for head coaches. And I got news for you: there may be a 10th team yet looking for a head coach.